An independent consumer watchdog group recently tested some of America's most popular bar soap brands and found detectable levels of 1,4-dioxane, a chemical byproduct the EPA classifies as a likely human carcinogen, sitting inside bars millions of people use every single morning. But unwrap the wrong bar, and what you are really rubbing into your skin is hormone-disrupting fragrances, banned antibacterial agents, and carcinogenic byproducts dressed up as daily hygiene. For anyone on blood pressure medication or managing chronic skin conditions, or families lathering up grandchildren at bath time, those chemicals are absorbing straight through your skin while you trust the label. In today's video, we are exposing 11 bar soap brands that failed the safety test, including one so beloved you will not believe what inspectors found inside. Stay until the end, because we will also reveal the 2 brands that actually tested clean and a dead simple method to protect yourself at the store. Coming in at number 11, we have Irish Spring. That sharp, aggressive scent hits you the moment you tear the wrapper open. It smells like a pine forest manufactured in a chemistry lab, because that is exactly what it is. Irish Spring lists fragrance as a single ingredient on the label, but that one word is a legal loophole. The FDA does not require soap companies to disclose what is inside their fragrance blends. That means you could be rubbing a cocktail of dozens of synthetic allergens, irritants, and endocrine disruptors into your skin every single morning, and the label will never tell you. A report from the Environmental Working Group found that the average fragrance blend in personal care products contains roughly 14 undisclosed chemicals. Many of those are classified as allergens or potential irritants by European safety boards. Yet American law lets manufacturers hide everything behind one word. For anyone managing eczema or using topical prescriptions, or people who have simply noticed their skin getting more reactive with age, synthetic fragrances are one of the top causes of contact dermatitis in adults over 50. Your skin gets thinner as you age. It absorbs more of whatever you put on it, and what it absorbs matters more than it ever has. Unwrap that green bar and hold it to your nose. That chemical sharpness that burns the back of your throat is not freshness. It is a warning. One word. 14 hidden chemicals. Zero disclosure. The label says fresh. The truth says something very different. And for anyone over 50 whose skin is already thinning and vulnerable, that difference is not just misleading. It is a health risk hiding in every shower. And the next brand on this list took deception even further. It was not just hiding ingredients. It was hiding a chemical the FDA already moved to ban. At number 10, it is Dial Gold Antibacterial. Dial built its entire reputation on one promise: killing germs. That gold bar was supposed to be the safe, responsible choice. But what Dial never advertised was the ingredient doing the heavy lifting: triclosan. The FDA banned triclosan from liquid hand soaps in 2016 after studies linked it to hormone disruption and antibiotic resistance. Bar soaps had a longer compliance window, and by the time the dust settled, most consumers never got the memo. Even now, Dial's reformulated bars still rely on aggressive antibacterial agents that strip the skin's natural barrier every time you lather up. A 2017 study published in the journal Environmental Health Perspectives found that triclosan was detectable in the urine of nearly 75% of Americans tested. That is not a fringe problem. That is a household crisis hiding in plain sight. The texture of that gold bar feels substantial. It lathers thick and smells medicinal, like something that actually works. But that sensation was engineered to build confidence in a product that science was already questioning. Every detail was designed to make you feel protected, while the ingredients did the opposite. For seniors managing thyroid prescriptions or anyone on daily hormone medication, these chemicals can interfere with how your body processes the very drugs your doctor carefully calibrated. Your doctor adjusts your dose by milligrams. Then a bar of soap throws the whole balance off. Dial gave you the sensation of safety. It quietly delivered chemicals your body never asked for. The label said antibacterial. The science said something else entirely. But if you think a banned ingredient is alarming, wait until you hear what the next brand is hiding behind a slogan about total body care. Number 9 goes to Lever 2000. The campaign was unforgettable for all your 2000 parts. The promise was total body coverage, head to toe, every inch of you protected and cared for. But coverage does not mean safety. Lever 2000 contains synthetic surfactants, artificial colors, and fragrance compounds including tetrasodium EDTA and BHT, preservatives that studies have flagged for potential skin sensitization and oxidative stress. That clean, tight feeling you get after using Lever 2000 is not clean. It is damage. Harsh surfactants strip the natural oils your skin desperately needs to stay intact and healthy. According to a study from the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology, over 40% of adults over the age of 65 experience clinically significant skin dryness. Using a soap that aggressively strips natural oils makes that statistic worse, not better. And when your skin cracks, it becomes a direct pathway for bacteria and infection that no one should be inviting in. Pick up a bar and rub it between your hands. Feel how quickly it foams, almost unnaturally fast. That rapid, dense lather comes from synthetic detergents designed to dissolve everything they touch, including your skin's moisture barrier. Now smell your hands after rinsing. That faint chemical residue clinging to your knuckles is not cleanliness. It is leftovers from a formula that prioritizes suds over safety. For people dealing with diabetic skin complications or anyone on blood thinners where skin integrity matters every single day, this is not gentle care. This is chemical aggression marketed as hygiene. Lever 2000 promised care for every part of your body. What it delivered was a bar that works against your body's own protective systems every time you step into the shower. 2000 parts, zero real protection. That is 3 brands exposed. 3 brands you have probably bought this year. It gets worse. This next one might surprise you. Number 8 is Zest. It has been on shelves since the 1950s, marketed as the soap that does not leave a filmy residue. And technically, that is true. But the reason it skips the film is because Zest is not soap at all. It is a synthetic detergent bar, a syndet, made almost entirely from chemical surfactants rather than traditional saponified oils. Zest loads its bars with artificial dyes like D and C yellow 10 and FD and C green 3, compounds questioned in peer-reviewed studies for potential links to skin irritation and allergic reactions. Those dyes serve absolutely no cleaning purpose. They are purely cosmetic. They add nothing but color and risk. Think about that. Why would a soap company add artificial colorants that can irritate, sensitize, and trigger reactions in vulnerable skin when the dye does nothing to actually clean you? Who benefits from that decision? Not you. Hold a bar of Zest under warm water and watch that bright artificial color bleed into the lather. That tinted foam sliding down your body is carrying dye compounds directly into your pores, into the tiny micro tears on aging skin, into your bloodstream. For anyone with compromised kidney function or people managing multiple daily medications, anything that adds unnecessary chemical load through your skin, the largest organ in your body, is a burden most people never even consider. Your kidneys are already working overtime to filter prescriptions and metabolic waste. Adding synthetic dye exposure is a risk with zero reward. Zest promised no residue. What it left behind was something far worse than film. Not clean, just colorful. But this list gets much worse. And when we get to number 3, you are going to want to check your bathroom shelf immediately. If this is helping you make smarter choices at the store, hit subscribe. It is free, and it means you will never miss these investigations. Number 7 on the list is Caress. Caress sells itself on luxury. Silky, moisturizing, indulgent. The packaging is elegant. The commercials show smooth, radiant, glowing skin. But flip that bar over and read the ingredient list, and the story changes fast. Caress bars contain parabens, methylparaben, and propylparaben specifically. Parabens are preservatives that mimic estrogen in the body. A study from the University of Reading found parabens present in breast tissue samples taken during clinical research. That does not prove causation, but it raises a question that deserves an honest answer. Why are preservatives from personal care products showing up in human tissue, and why are they still in your soap? Pick up a bar of Caress and it feels creamy and premium. The scent is rich and floral, almost intoxicating. Everything about Caress is carefully designed to make you feel pampered and cared for. But feeling pampered and being safe are 2 very different things. For women managing menopause or on hormone therapy, or families sharing this bar with teenage daughters whose hormones are still developing, adding synthetic estrogen mimics through daily skin absorption is a genuine medical concern. Your endocrine system is not a marketing opportunity. It is the control center for nearly every function in your body. Luxury packaging. Endocrine disruptors inside. That is not indulgence. That is interference. Caress charged a premium for a product that actively disrupts the system your body relies on most, and most people still reach for it because of how the commercial made them feel. Have you ever noticed how the most heavily marketed soaps are always the ones with the longest, most unpronounceable ingredient lists? Think about why that is. The next brand has a loyal fan base that swears by it. What the ingredient list actually reveals is a very different story. Number 6 goes to Safeguard, another Procter & Gamble brand that leaned hard into the antibacterial angle for decades. Families bought it for years thinking it was the responsible choice, the safe choice, the clean choice. It is right there in the name. But Safeguard bars contain benzalkonium chloride, a quaternary ammonium compound used as an antimicrobial agent. Prolonged and repeated skin exposure has been linked to contact dermatitis and dryness, especially in older adults with already compromised skin barriers. A report by the Centers for Disease Control found that antibacterial soaps are no more effective at preventing illness than regular soap and water. No more effective. You are absorbing extra chemicals for absolutely zero additional protection. The promise says safety. The science says otherwise. Think about the name itself. Safeguard. The implication is that if you do not use it, you are vulnerable, unprotected, at risk. That kind of fear-based marketing is powerful, especially for health-conscious shoppers and people managing conditions like diabetes, where skin integrity is already a daily concern. Dry, cracked skin is an open door for infection, the very thing Safeguard claims to prevent. You can feel the aftermath on your forearms 10 minutes after showering. That papery tightness, that itch that starts at the elbows and creeps downward. That is not clean skin. That is stripped skin begging for moisture. For anyone on immunosuppressants or dealing with slow-healing wounds, that gap between the name on the wrapper and what the bar actually does is exactly where your health falls through. Safe was never the product. Safe was always just the pitch. See the pattern here? Budget brands cut corners. Family brands hide behind heritage. Antibacterial brands hide behind fear. So where does that leave the brands that market themselves as gentle and moisturizing? Let us find out. Now, before we keep going, there is a simple method to protect yourself from almost everything on this list. A dead simple approach most people have never been told about. We are breaking it all down at the very end of this video. The answer is coming. Stick around. Number 5 is Tone. Tone soap marketed itself with cocoa butter right on the front of the bar. The implication was clear. Moisturizing, gentle, nourishing, good for dry skin. But check the actual cocoa butter content relative to the rest of the formulation, and you will find it is minimal. What you are really getting is a standard soap base loaded with sodium talawate, synthetic fragrance, and titanium dioxide. The cocoa butter is there for the label, not for your skin. Titanium dioxide, often used as a whitening agent, has come under serious scrutiny from the European Food Safety Authority, which declared it no longer safe as a food additive in 2021. Europe pulled it from food. America still puts it in soap and shampoo and toothpaste. You can actually feel the difference if you pay attention. A bar truly rich in cocoa butter leaves your skin genuinely soft and supple after rinsing. Tone leaves that same tight, dry pull that cheaper soap bars do. The cocoa butter is a whisper in the formula, just enough to print on the label, not enough to actually help your skin. Run your thumb across your forearm after using Tone. That rough, almost papery texture is the opposite of what cocoa butter should deliver. The label promised moisture. The bar delivered chemicals. That is not formulation. That is deception. For people with chronically dry or thinning skin, or anyone who bought Tone specifically to soothe an existing dermatological condition, that broken promise is not just disappointing, it is actively dangerous. We found 2 brands that actually deliver what they promise: real ingredients, real safety. But we are not revealing them yet. You will have to wait until after the countdown. You just saw what the gentle brands are hiding behind their claims. So surely spending more and going premium gets you something better and safer. Not even close. At number 4, it is Coast. Coast was the eye-opener soap. That was literally the tagline. A blast of aggressive fragrance designed to wake you up in the morning shower. And it works. That scent hits hard. Almost chemical hard. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, fragrance is the #1 cause of cosmetic contact dermatitis. Number 1. Not some rare exotic ingredient. Not a manufacturing defect. Fragrance. And Coast has more of it than almost any bar on the entire market. Coast's scent is strong enough that it lingers on your skin for hours after you dry off. That means those synthetic fragrance chemicals are sitting on your body, absorbing through your pores for a very long time. Picture this. You step out of the shower. You can still smell Coast on your arms, your chest, your neck. Hours later, while you are eating breakfast or sitting in your living room, it is still there. That scent is not fading because the chemicals are bonding to your skin. They are sitting in your pores and being absorbed into your bloodstream while you go about your day completely unaware. The whole time, you think you just smell clean. You do not. You smell like a chemistry experiment that was never designed with your health in mind for seniors taking blood thinners or managing chronic inflammation, or anyone dealing with autoimmune flare-ups and compromised immune responses. Prolonged skin irritation is not a cosmetic issue, it is a medical one. Chronic inflammation can trigger immune responses that interfere with how your body processes medications. That fresh feeling is your skin reacting, not thanking you. Check your shower ledge right now, because the next brand is in almost every American bathroom, and what is hiding inside will make you rethink everything you thought you knew. Number 3 is Dove. This is the one that is going to shake people. Dove is the most recognized bar soap brand in America. It is in nearly every household, recommended by more dermatologists than any other brand. At least that is what the marketing claims. But here is what the marketing leaves out. Dove's classic beauty bar is not technically soap. It is a synthetic detergent bar. And while Dove has removed some of the worst chemical offenders over the years, its ingredient list still includes fragrance, sodium lauryl, isothianate, stearic acid, and various other synthetic compounds. The bigger issue is the trust gap. A 2019 investigation by an independent testing lab found that several Dove products contained trace amounts of formaldehyde-releasing preservatives. Formaldehyde, in a product you rub across your body every single day. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies formaldehyde as a Group 1 carcinogen. That is the highest classification there is, and it was detected in a soap that millions of Americans trust more than any other. You thought this was the safe choice. You were told it was the safe choice. That is what makes this one cut deeper than the rest. Not the chemical, the betrayal. Dove spent decades building trust. Every commercial featured real women, real skin, real promises. For anyone with a weakened immune system or compromised skin, or families who gave this bar to their children because they believed it was the gentlest option available, even trace formaldehyde exposure is a legitimate medical concern. The name said care. The lab results said carcinogen. Drop a comment below if Dove is sitting in your shower right now. Let us see how many of us trusted that white bar without checking the back. And if Dove shook you, wait until you hear number 1. That one is going to change the way you look at your entire bathroom shelf. We are almost there. And I have to be honest, what we found about the number 1 brand on this list made us rethink everything we thought we knew about soap. But here is the good news. There is a way to avoid all of this. A straightforward approach that protects your skin, your health, and your wallet. Most people never learn it, but you will. We are sharing it at the very end. Do not click away now. Number 2 on the list is Ivory. 99 and 44 100% pure. That has been the slogan since 1879. It floats in water, it looks clean, it smells simple and honest. For over a century, Americans believed Ivory was the purest bar of soap money could buy. But pure does not mean safe. Ivory's ingredient list includes sodium talawate, sodium cocoate, fragrance, and magnesium sulfate. That fragrance component, even in a bar that markets itself as the simplest option available, still contains undisclosed chemical blends that the label never breaks down. More critically, Ivory's pH level has been tested significantly higher than what dermatologists recommend for healthy skin. Healthy skin sits around a pH of 4.5 to 5.5. Ivory has been measured closer to 9 or 10. That is alkaline enough to destroy your skin's acid mantle, the thin, protective film that keeps bacteria out and moisture in. That white bar floating innocently in the bathtub has been a symbol of old-fashioned American cleanliness for over 100 years. But old-fashioned does not mean safe. It means a formula that never evolved, even as our understanding of skin science advanced dramatically. Rub the bar across your hand and feel the residue it leaves behind. That squeaky clean sensation is not purity. It is your acid mantle being stripped away in real time. For seniors managing diabetes where every small cut heals slower, or anyone with poor circulation where cracked skin becomes an open infection site, a damaged acid mantle turns every single shower into a risk. Ivory promised purity. What it delivered was a high pH bar destroying your skin's first line of defense with every wash. You trusted the name. The name did not earn it. The FDA knew about this pH problem for decades. They also knew about the number 1 brand on this list, and they did nothing about either one. And number 1, the worst bar soap brand you should avoid, is Lux. Lux has been around for nearly 100 years, endorsed by Hollywood starlets, wrapped in elegant packaging, sold as the soap of the stars. But what Lux has become today is a chemical-loaded bar hiding behind vintage prestige. The current formulation is packed with synthetic fragrances, BHT, EDTA, and artificial colorants. Some international versions contain ingredients that do not even appear on the US label, a labeling inconsistency that raises serious questions about transparency. Here is the detail that put Lux at the top of this list. An independent consumer watchdog group tested multiple Lux bar variants and found detectable levels of 1,4-dioxin, a chemical byproduct classified by the EPA as a likely human carcinogen. It forms during manufacturing when certain ingredients are combined. But the fact that it is present in a product people use daily is inexcusable. A carcinogen in your soap, and you were never told. Nearly 60% of what you put on your skin is absorbed into your bloodstream. That is a fact backed by dermatological research. For anyone with compromised liver or kidney function, or people on chemotherapy or immunosuppressants where toxic burden matters enormously, daily exposure to carcinogenic byproducts through your skin is not minor. Your organs are already working at reduced capacity. Adding a toxin is a burden your body cannot handle. Lux promised glamour. What it delivered was a carcinogen most consumers never knew was there. That is not a mistake. That is a betrayal. Think about the women who grew up with Lux. Our mothers, our grandmothers. They kept that bar by the sink for decades because they trusted it. It is not the chemicals that sting the most. It is the broken promise. What is the worst soap you have ever used? Drop it in the comments below. Now, remember when I said there were 2 brands that passed every test? 2 brands that actually deliver what they promise? Here they are. The first safe option is Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile Bar Soap. Dr. Bronner's uses certified organic oils, coconut, olive, hemp, and jojoba. No synthetic fragrances, no artificial preservatives, no detergents, no dyes. Every ingredient is listed, disclosed, and verified by third parties. The soap is fair trade certified, cruelty-free, and has a simple, transparent formulation that dermatologists actually recommend for sensitive and aging skin. Open a bar and smell the difference immediately. It smells like actual plants, not a chemical imitation manufactured in a factory. The lather is smooth and mild, not that aggressive foam that strips everything it touches. Rinse it off and your skin feels hydrated, not tight and raw. For anyone on multiple medications or managing chronic skin conditions, or families looking for something genuinely safe for every member of the household, Dr. Bronner's is one of the most trustworthy choices you can make. The second recommendation is Grandpa's Pine Tar Bar Soap. Grandpa's has been around since 1878, and the formula has barely changed because it never needed to. Pine tar soap has been used for over a century to soothe dry, irritated, and inflamed skin. The ingredient list is short: pine tar, coconut oil, palm oil, and vegetable-based glycerin. No parabens, no sulfates, no synthetic fragrance, no artificial color. The bar smells like a real forest, earthy, honest, and completely natural. It does not promise luxury, it delivers actual results. For anyone dealing with eczema, psoriasis, or chronically dry skin, Grandpa's Pine Tar is a proven, old-school solution that works because every ingredient has a real purpose. The difference between this and the 11 brands we just exposed is transparency. Grandpa's tells you exactly what is in the bar. No hidden chemicals, no marketing tricks. Earlier in this video, I told you there was a simple way to protect yourself from everything on this list. Here it is. Flip the bar over. Read the ingredient list. If you see the word fragrance without a breakdown of what that means, put it back on the shelf. If the list has more than 10 chemical compounds you cannot pronounce, put it back. Look for short ingredient lists. Look for plant-based oils. Look for transparency. That is your shield. That is how you take back control of what touches your skin every single day. 11 brands, 11 broken promises. 1 bathroom shelf that needs cleaning. Your skin deserves better than carcinogens disguised as cleanliness. Subscribe now, and if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.